Hi, I'm Ken Jr. and welcome to Train World TV. Here you'll find the latest and greatest in model trains. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. And if you're new to our channel, we're glad you're here, and I invite you to click the subscribe button and hit that bell notification so you'll never miss a video. Now, we'd also love to send you exclusive deals and special announcements that you won't find anywhere else. So be sure to sign up for our emails, TW Text, and stay connected with us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Don't forget, you can shop online at trainworld.com for all your model train needs. Now, without further ado, enjoy today's video.
Hello everyone, welcome to the July 2026 Thomas event by Train World. As you know, today is Thursday. We have once again shifted the days of these live streams that we do once a month, but nevertheless, we have not let you down. We are here, we are healthy, we are well. We're missing Ken Jr., but he might be popping in a little bit later. He once again is raising the young one, so apologies for that. But thank you all so much for tuning in. I see there's people coming from all over the world. We got Silver Band. He is a phenomenal Thomas modeler. How you doing, man? Also, Mr. C's Railway. He was one of our recent guests. Thank you so much for tuning in. And even my good friend Rich for Farquhar Studios. I see him in the chat as well. So please put in the chat where you're from, how you're doing, any questions you have for Bachmann as always, and we will be cooking right into it. But before I get into any of that, we have two wonderful people. The man of the hour, he's here every single month showcasing the latest Thomas updates from Bachmann Trains. Matt Stern, how are you doing today?
Good, Christian. How are you doing?
Not too bad. Pretty hot down here, but I got the dehumidifier. I turned it off for the stream so it doesn't become too distracting oral-wise, but can't complain nevertheless.
Right, and our latest... We don't perspire or anything.
No. But believe me, this is going to be great. Though we do have one great reveal that we were saving for, so stay tuned, guys. I might pass out just from anticipation. We might see. But our latest Thomas Tuesday or Thursday guest, I should say, he is our first O-scale Thomas modeler we've ever had on a Train World event. He is also a Long Island resident like myself, one of Train World's biggest customers, and also friends with the Bianco family, RJ's Trains. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing well. Glad to be breaking barriers here, being the first O-scale guy on. I'm not too exciting because I don't have a new Bachmann reveal to show off, unlike Matt. But yeah, it's great to be on. And hearing one of Train World's biggest customers, when you think about it, may not be the greatest thing to hear, but nevertheless, love Train World and spending all my money there.
Fantastic. And, in addition to that, RJ had the I had the wonderful opportunity there to carpool with RJ up to Amherst back in January. Just for the record, guys, he is one of the best drivers in the world. There were no sudden brakes, no crazy accelerations like I deal with most of my folks that I've ridden with, and even myself when I'm driving. So big shout out to him. Saved me a few bucks on gas, and I really appreciate it, man.
Of course. Thank you for saying that. I didn't tell Christian to say that, and I will definitely be clipping that and sending that to anybody who ever complains about my driving ever again. So thank you for that, Christian.
Absolutely. All right, but without further ado, enough chit chat. We're going to jump right into the latest updates by Bachmann. Pass it right along to Matt Stern.
All right. So it's been quite a month in terms of new arrivals. We teased a couple weeks ago one of the things we're going to be showing off today, but I'm going to start with a couple of others. One thing I did want to just mention before getting into that, I think I asked Ken a while ago if he knew where that rail yard was in the intro video that we see every time there's a beginning of a Train World video. I just by chance found out where it was. It's the rail yard in Chattanooga. And I'm going to plug this because I was looking for places to rail fan in Chattanooga because we will be in Chattanooga for the NMRA National Train Show at the beginning of August. So if you're down in the Chattanooga area and you want to see some of the models that we're going to be revealing on the stream here in person, that will be the first place you'll be able to see them.
Fantastic. And yes, guys, the NMRA is just a month away. We're already at that point in the summer. It's July 9th, beginning of August there. We'll be getting some new reveals or announcements. So stay tuned. Next month's Train World stream will be very exciting as well as a result.
I'm looking forward to it for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to start with some non-Thomas but Thomas related items. So first off here, we have package sample for our Festiniog Railway coal wagon, which is, of course, the prototype version of the high-side gondolas or the high-side wagons that are in the Blue Mountain Quarry scheme for HON 30 narrow gauge. And this is going to be available in 2 road numbers. So these are the first box samples. Box samples usually get shipped to us right around the same time that the containers leave the port. So that means it's probably about a month and a half or so, or a little bit less now, until these are going to be hitting the shelves at Train World. And then in a similar vein to that, but not box samples, just pre-production samples. There we go. They're so small, I have to crane over to find them. We've got the prototype versions of the gunpowder wagon. This is the actual prototype that the models were, or the originals in the Thomas series were inspired by. Which are also on the Festiniog Railway. This is the paint scheme that this car is in today, being used in photo freights and stuff like that. I don't think they actually use it to carry gunpowder anymore. But that's that version, and then we have the Festiniog cement version as well. So these will look great if you're a fan of our narrow gauge line. And even though they're not, specifically from the island of Sodor, they'll still look fantastic and right at home, being hauled by Scar Lowy or Peter Sam or any of your Bachmann Thomas narrow gauge characters.
Yeah, man, RJ's dying to see these in 0-30 one day.
Yeah, I think those would look especially good in no scale.
Yeah, that would be fun to see those in a larger size. Yeah. All right, but yeah, so on to actual Thomas characters. We're going to start with a locomotive reveal, but not the one you're expecting yet. This is this guy.
Wow.
This is, of course, mainland diesel. And I'm going to show the rest of him first before I reveal the face, because I think personally the face on this just might be one of my favorites. It's got that vibrant red and yellow paint scheme. One of my favorite touches is the yellow on the counterweights on the wheels with the red spokes.
Oh wow, never noticed that.
Yeah, we discovered that actually at the last minute when we were reviewing the artwork, because it's always in shadow, so it's hard to see, but it is there.
Got it.
And that's just a great looking paint scheme.
It is, yeah, and of course based on the EWS English, Welsh, and Scottish Railway paint scheme, which the Class 08s wore in reality, which of course in turn is based on the Wisconsin Central paint scheme, because they were the owner of that rail company. So it's actually an American paint scheme adapted to Britain and then adapted to the island of Sodor. Well, technically the mainland, but the world of Sodor.
My friend Christian Pham, big shout out to him, great Thomas modeler, and check out his channel because he's got some wonderful videos. He's dying to see the face now, Matt.
All right. I've teased it long enough. All right, here we go.
Wow. That's actually very good.
He's already made a name for himself around the office. He's been coined Grumpier Diesel.
And that's actually like 3D, because like it's so good that it almost like from the front looks flat. I don't know.
There you go.
Oh my god.
And of course he does, even though he's kind of squinting, he still has the moving eye mechanism as well. So there you go. I just love this guy because he just has so much character in his face.
Yeah, and Matt, if you just hold that for a second, guys, in the chat, you all have to take a screenshot, put this on Twitter or X as they call it now, tag Train World, do hashtag Bachmann Trains, hashtag Mainland Diesel, at Train World, not just hashtag Train World, but at Train World, so that we actually get notified that you posted about us as well. And yeah, we do have a raffle set for this evening a little bit later on. So if you do that, that's the first step to getting the product that we are raffling off later in the hour.
There you go. Just look on the underside and the top there. And there you have it. Now, of course, Mainland Diesel was announced alongside another Class 08. And I think it's time for his reveal. What do you think?
I think we're ready. Gordon, are you ready? Sorry, I'm just talking to my friend in the chat.
We're going to go straight to the face for this one. I did enough teasing with the last one. So here we go.
Wow. The face is perfect, Matt.
Sydney. Sydney sans coupler. This sample doesn't have couplers attached, but the actual production models will.
So what did you guys do with Sydney to get the eyes in a different position like that?
So we actually redid the mechanism a little bit to make sure it would be the correct spacing for this.
Got it. So that's exact. Yeah, just like the render.
Yeah, so a little bit of custom work for him there, and yeah, another face that I like. He's a very emotive character as well. So happy with that face as well. And you've got the red buffer beam on the front and the black buffer beam on the back for a little variation. Nice red rods, which are they're very weathered in a lot of his appearances in the show, so it's hard to tell that they're red, but they are actually red like this. So primed for if you want to weather him up to make him look all grimy and dirty like he looks in most of his appearances in the show. There you go.
Yeah. Guys, same thing. Matt, if you can just hold it with the face again. You have to now screenshot this and also do the same thing. Tag Bachmann, tag Train World, hashtag Bachmann, hashtag Train World, hashtag Sydney, and at Train World. Again, not just hashtag, but at Train World, so that we get notified on X. All right. And then you will be eligible for a raffle coming up.
There you go.
The chat's going crazy over this, Matt. This was a very nice surprise.
Yeah, no, we're really happy with how these guys turned out. I'll just put them side by side here. So there's both of them. The latest shunters.
Yeah.
To join the fleet.
Up, Ken is here. He came.
Sorry, guys.
Oh my God, Ken, you made it. I'm so glad for a big reveal too.
What?
Yeah, you come just in time to meet these guys.
Yeah.
Wow.
You got Mainland Diesel and you've got Sydney.
Very cool.
All right, I'm just going to repeat for the raffle one more time. You have to tag Bachmann, tag Train World, tag I said Bachmann, sorry. Mention Mainland Diesel and Sydney in the post, and just make sure it's at Train World so that we're notified on X. All right, specifically X, or Twitter as they used to call it.
Right. This raffle is for the Percy, I think we have. Okay. Yep.
Another look at both of them side by side. And I think it might be time to move on to the main event. What do you think?
I think we're ready.
All right.
That wasn't the main event?
No, that was that was a little extra.
All right.
All right. So just coupling up the locomotive and tender here. And just go right ahead, and here we go.
Oh, very nice. Wow. He's
He's big big gray big gray right now, not big green, but he will be big green.
Fantastic. And that's the Gordon chassis on him right now?
On the Gordon chassis, which of course is part of what made this possible at this point.
Nice. Once again, the chat's going crazy, Matt.
And we got the face on here as well, so I'll try and angle the face. There you go.
And a big shout out to Carrie, also known right here as 973 Railfan. He's getting into N-scale Thomas modeling. He has a pretty good set of engines and rolling stock right now, but this is one I know he was especially excited about, so big shout out to him.
There you go.
Very neat. That, I actually thought it was HO when you first showed it, and it's actually N scale, huh?
Yep, N scale, and the locomotive body and the tender body are all new tooling. With the face as well, of course. I'll turn it around to show you the other side. Almost impossible to keep these coupled while you're holding them, but there you go. You can see inside here, got the see-through windows, a little bit of a cab, a little bit of depth for the cab in there.
Nice.
You got the whistle on top there. And then little stanchions on the front. And then there's the inside back of the tender, or the front of the tender, I guess, and then the back of the tender here as well.
Very neat.
There's a little look at his trucks there as well.
Yeah.
So there you go. That is the official first reveal of N-scale Henry.
Fantastic. And Matt, can we do one more great shot? Again, this will be the last part of participating in the raffle. We have, once again, Sydney, Mainland Diesel, and Henry. Same idea, hashtag Bachmann Trains, hashtag Train World, hashtag N-scale Henry. But make sure for Train World, you're also doing at Train World so that we're notified and that you can participate. We want Twitter to go crazy.
Here, let me turn them around. If we're going to do screenshots, let me turn them around here.
Yeah.
You're going to have to make this an O scale for RJ.
I know. Yeah, we already had a little bit of discussion about O scale.
I'm jealous. The guys in HO and N scale can do so much more, but that N scale Henry looks awesome. Can't wait to see it all done and on people's layouts.
RJ needs a traveling suitcase for N scale. Very cool.
Never say never.
Yeah.
All right. So that is all I have for samples today. We do have some package samples for stuff that's going to be arriving in the next month and a half or so, but
Awesome.
figured we had enough good stuff this month. Can save those for next month when they'll be even closer to arriving on the shelves at Train World.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
But in the meantime, if there are any questions, I can certainly answer some questions. I mean, I don't want to keep RJ for too long, but
I know you're the real star of the show here, Matt. It's all right.
well, I figured this is an opportunity for people to find out things they may not otherwise be able to ask. Let's see. I'm looking at the comments here. Let's see. Are there any announcements expected at NMRA? There will be announcements at NMRA. I'm going to leave it at that. Actually, no, I'm going to say one more thing. I'm going to say they're going to be announcements, and you're not going to see them coming.
Okay.
All right, now the adrenaline's
Everybody
kicking in.
fire
You know?
off the conspiracy theories on Twitter.
There you go.
But, you know, I don't sleep well as it is, and now I'm not going to be able to sleep for another 4 weeks. Great.
I'm seeing a lot of questions about the Flying Scotsman update. He is, this may have already been the same stage he was at last time, but his CAD drawings have been approved, and he's in the tooling process now. So we should have an update in the near future. H.O. Salty is not dead. HO Salty is going to be arriving in 2027. There's very, very, very little chance that he's going to get any further pushback any further. He's going to be here next year.
Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, sorry, Mainland Diesel with that scowl on his face. Yeah, he was, taking all the spotlight. So Salty had to get pushed to the side, and he's like, "I'm the superior Diesel,"
Yeah. Sodor China Clay cars. They should be here probably late fall. I'm gonna say.
I don't know if Matt also covered. Bachmann has been delivering a lot of restocks of Thomas.
Yes,
A lot of Thomas characters that were out of stock. We're getting them back in, and I think on Twitter we posted all the Thomas characters that were coming back in as restocks from Bachmann. So that was great because a lot of people were asking when they were coming in, and also the gunpowder wagon. That's been very popular. So a lot of people are excited about that. That just came in. That's a new arrival.
Yeah, lots of exciting stuff coming back into stock.
Ken, I was trying to get some of those new tar tankers, but you're all out of stock.
Yeah, I did reorder. It's funny because the pre-orders were good, but they weren't like crazy. But once they came in, it sold out immediately. And and of course Christian wants to buy a huge ton of them, and then once he starts wanting all these tankers, then everybody else wants them, and it's like crazy.
Yeah,
it's a frenzy out there, Matt.
Yeah.
We placed a big order with Bachmann and a lot of their items, and they'll hopefully be shipping shortly. We had to get a big restock on a lot of figures and characters. So it should be coming soon. Awesome. And also the anniversary wagons, we sold out again. I keep on reordering a ton of them. They keep on going, so they're going to sell out soon. So make sure if you're looking for that anniversary special, make sure you grab it.
Yeah, because that was our limited run. So once we run out of them to send to Ken, there will not be any more.
Yeah. And you have to resort to eBay and pay crazy prices, which we've seen with other discontinued products.
Yeah.
There you go. I did see a question about the diesel fuel flat car, and Christian, maybe you can remind me because I'm drawing a blank here. Did I show the painted sample of that off on the live stream?
I don't think so, but there were images, I think, through Bachmann's page that people did see. So.
Okay, I'll have to maybe it'll make a special appearance next time. But that should be coming soon as well, probably around the same time as the China Clay wagon.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't want to hold up RJ any longer because you've got a whole layout of much larger British and Thomas items sitting behind you there. So. Yeah, I'm gonna probably call it a day here for the Bachmann stuff, but yeah, we're excited to we're looking to next month. We're working hard at getting everything ready for it, and it's gonna be an exciting release.
All right,
awesome, great job, Matt.
Thank you so much.
All right. I will see you all next time.
All right, and we're going to shift it right on to RJ once again, my great friend. He's also a New Yorker.
Wait a second. He's your friend or my friend?
Don't worry, there's enough RJ to go around.
I'm getting jealous over here, Christian.
And I'm very jealous. He actually goes to you and he buys your stuff. I got to start ramping myself up a little more too,
That's it.
All right. Let's shift it right over. Boom. All right. Ooh. So RJ, let's go from the beginning. How did you first get into Thomas and whatnot?
So growing up, I had a couple of older cousins who were into Thomas Wooden Railway. So when we would go over to Grandma's house for Sunday dinner, I would be playing with the Wooden Railway trains with them, and then that led to getting a VHS tape, and then that led to a lot more VHS tapes, and that led to a lot more of my own wooden railway items. And they turned out I ended up dressing as Thomas the Tank Engine, I think, every year for Halloween up until like second grade. So yeah, it definitely, I caught the bug from my older cousins and I kept it.
Fantastic, fantastic. And now, as someone in his mid-20s, you're still modeling an O scale, some British Thomas models. Like, what's the inspiration through that?
So when I was in middle school, not when I was in kindergarten or so, I asked for a O scale Lionel train set for Christmas. And Santa brought that for me. It was sitting underneath the tree. And then for my birthday, I asked for another Lionel train set. And for my birthday, I got it. I actually found the original Train World receipt from 20 years ago for that Lionel train set in a box the other day. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. That just shows you how long I've been shopping with the Biancos over at Train World.
It just shows how much I need to ramp up years and years and years of like getting RJ's recognition, you know?
Yeah, you're like 20 years behind, Christian. So get your act together. And then, you know, throughout elementary school and middle school, I just went way down the rabbit hole of O scale. And then I think a lot of people, they get out of the hobby, you know, middle school, high school, just because they're focusing on other things in life. And then when I went to college, I was kind of going through it mentally. And so I turned back to the model train hobby, as well as Thomas and Friends. And well, I was already so invested into O gauge that I felt like I couldn't sell everything off and switch to HO and get all those wonderful Bachmann products. And so, you know, I stuck it out. I started building my O gauge layout. And then I want to say 2 or 3 years ago, Soundtracks, which I know has done a couple of live streams with Train World. Train World sells a ton of their products. They released a new DCC board it's called Blue Nami, and so it allows you to install a DCC board, and you can control your trains with your phone. And that was the biggest bridge on being able to do British O scale, because there's very few 3-rail O scale
We lose RJ?
Yeah, it
Okay.
froze for me.
especially, you know, watching seasons 1 through 7.
There we go.
So the models are just very nostalgic for me. I've always wanted to be able to recreate Thomas and Friends in model form with my layout, and now with the latest and greatest technology, it's possible.
So your O scale British models, they're O scale 3-rail, not O scale 2-rail?
So they are. So I bought them as 2-rail British O scale models, and I've had them converted to be able to operate on my 3-rail tracks with AC power, and extremely simplifying it. But it's installing that DCC board, installing pickup rollers underneath it, so it's able to pick up the 3rd-rail power, as well as a AC to DC converter. Which I'm very much oversimplifying the process, but that's pretty much the gist of it. So they are 2-rail models that are able to operate on 3-rail track, but all of my models, all my locomotives are, I'm pretty sure, one of ones in the world. I don't think anybody else has done that with their British 2-rail models yet.
Very cool.
Yeah, I've heard more the other way around, where they're trying to convert the 3-rail to 2-rail, but here going to 3-rail, I guess for nostalgic reasons, and because 3-rail is more popular in the United States, especially. I mean, that's very unique. So I think that's awesome.
Yeah, and then I'll post videos on my YouTube channel about these models, and then I'll have, you know, people like, you're ruining them by making them 3-rail, and it's like, well, I'm not building a 2-rail layout, so you know, It's my trains. It's my layout. I can do what I want.
Yeah. And three rail's the OG, you know, like model train started three
Yeah.
rail. That's what you have to remember.
Hornby
You know?
started with 3 rail.
It's true. Yeah,
Huh?
not just Lionel, not just the United States, but all over the world. So
Yep.
something for us to remember. And
Very
some of the
cool.
greatest companies like Marklin in Germany, like they're still doing three rail. They're rocking with it. So
Yeah.
three rail is fantastic. It really is.
Now, RJ, you have a big YouTube channel, and it's RJ Trains on YouTube. Did you start off doing like Thomas videos, or like your first videos that you created on for RJ's Trains, or was that just generic model train stuff?
So the YouTube channel itself started off just for generic O gauge trains.
Okay.
And it wasn't really until I started doing the 2 rail British models. I want to say it was summer of 2024. I bought my first British 2 rail model. So really, since then, you know, I've been doing a sprinkling of Thomas-related British O gauge trains on my YouTube channel. You know, as new ones arrive in the collection.
Cool. Do they have a O gauge Flying Scotsman?
They do. They do have an O gauge Flying Scotsman. Our friend Jay over at Third Rail.
Oh,
is
yeah. Well, he's doing that, but for the British side,
for the British.
like a real
yeah,
British.
There was a British company that produced a Flying Scotsman a few years ago. It's rather hard to find, but Flying Scotsman's definitely on my list that I would like to add to the collection.
Yeah,
It's such an
cool.
iconic locomotive. I was able to see it in person last summer in England, so
Nice.
that's what I definitely want to add.
Good
All right,
stuff.
Ken, time to get to work.
That's it.
Awesome. Shall we digress now into some of those models?
Yeah. I'll step behind the camera and I'll zoom in and give you guys a little better look at a few of my Thomas and Friends models.
Awesome.
And are you still Thomas for Halloween?
I tried doing that last year, and the girlfriend put a kibosh on it. So unfortunately, no Thomas last year, but we'll try again this year.
That's awesome.
Nice.
So do you want to start with the standard gauge or the narrow gauge, Christian? I'll leave it up to you.
All right, we'll start standard gauge since that's where the show started.
All right. So I'll start with my first model here. This was the first one to join the collection. And I think this is pretty recognizable for nearly everybody here in the chat. This was a model of Stepney. Stepney in his episodes in season 4 is my favorite. So when
That looks really impressive.
Yeah.
this is what started it all, and it just has some fantastic add-on detail. It even has a detailed cab interior, and when it's on, it has a flickering firebox, sprung buffers as well, hook and loop couplers, which are a pain in the neck, but they look awesome. But yeah, and so this is just it's a beautiful model, and I got this at the Bluebell Railway, so I even was able to put the model of Stepney here onto the footplate of the real one. So that's pretty cool in my book.
So this engine was sold with the wording on the side, or you had a customize? Okay. Wow.
So everything. So the decoration is as it arrived with Stepney, the number plate, the whole 9 yards on it. Just
beautiful.
Looks really
great
detailed.
detailing on the buffer beam. Yeah. It's amazing with the British O scale models.
Absolutely. I received a message.
Yep.
Sorry, I received a message. Do you ever plan to give it a face?
So I do plan on giving all of my models faces eventually. I've been talking with friend of the show, DCC Sodor, about that. So yeah, they're in the works one day.
Fantastic.
Cool.
what I'm trying to go for with my models here is like if the TV series was in the real world. So even though they're in, normal, they're not in their TV series liveries. They have their TV series numbers. That's
What
just my take
manufacturer is
on
that?
the. This is made by Dapple.
Okay. Nice.
I would say most of everything I'll show off today is made by Dapple, which is the largest manufacturer of O-scale trains in Great Britain.
Beautiful. Yeah. Can we just see the cab one more time? I couldn't believe how much
Yeah.
detailing they got in there.
Yeah.
That is so impressive.
Yeah, and I've got a flickering firebox installed in there as well, so it'll have a red glue that's going
Nice.
along the layout. But yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, and now some of these O-scale engines also at the bottom, like they have extra detailing with the piston rods, right? I've heard about that too.
Okay, Stepne's a bad example.
Oh. Yeah, I think I saw like in the
Let's see.
J94 class, which is like Wilbert and 16, if you know that class.
So this is the 1400. This is Oliver.
Yeah.
You can kind of see the pistons from the underneath,
Yeah, that's amazing.
which makes adding the third rail pickup to them a whole lot more difficult. But
Yeah.
Why don't
yeah,
they
you can
sell
see it
like
better.
why don't they sell 3-rail? They just never
It's
thought of
just
that,
not
or-
popular. It's just not as popular in the UK.
Yeah.
They adopted 2-rail as a standard a long time ago. So I think there's one manufacturer that makes 3-rail British trains, but it's just not. Most of the guys who do 3-rail in UK import it from the US.
I feel like it could be like the reverse for like here with 3-rail, they'll have the conversion kits to make it 2-rail. So I feel like it would be the opposite for them to have like a conversion kit for 2-rail to go to 3-rail. But I guess that's not the case.
No, yeah, I think that'd be a big hit here in the States if we were able to get more European models that could run on 3-rail track. But
Absolutely. And RJ, we have Sudi Will in the chat.
So
Big shout out to him.
Yep.
Sorry,
Yep.
I'm cutting you off, but he's a phenomenal content creator in the fandom. He does music videos, episodes. So big shout out to him. Thank you so much, man, for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Yeah, and he wrote a wonderful comment, just basically expressing how impressed he is with these large engines. So, sorry for cutting you off there.
Sudi Will, I was just gonna say I follow Sudi Will and I very much enjoy his work. So thank you for saying that. That means a lot.
Absolutely. And there was one other question in the chat with regards to the rods or the piston detailing that I guess would conflict with the 3-rail. But yes, they do move, at least in 2-rail function. I have seen them move. So
They still move in 3-rail as well.
they do. Okay, great.
Yep. So I guess just real quick rounding off what we've got with Stephanie here. We've got a couple of LBSC Stroudley coaches. And so these are my representation of the red branch line coaches from the series. I think one day I might repaint these to look more like the coaches in the show itself, like that dark red color instead of the maroon. But for right now, they suit my purpose, and I like the way they look going around the layout.
Yeah, I think it looks beautiful. It's a very rustic look.
And if you open it up, we've got, fully detailed. I can put people in it, detail it, the whole 9 yards. As well as lights, but I haven't wired it up for 3-rail function yet, but that's on the list of things to do. I got to finish the layout first.
Is that plastic or wood?
Beautiful coaches. Plastic painted to look like wood.
It actually looks like wood. It's unbelievable, the detail.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
If you guys do another Thomas hangout like you guys did last November at Trainland, I'll have to bring a couple of these down to show off.
Yeah, please.
That'd be
Please
cool.
do. And we're gonna make sure I'm the first one to touch them. Just kidding.
Yeah. Don't worry, Christian. You're good. So
Actually,
then moving over,
I'm
moving
sorry.
over to our
real
second
quick.
locomotive here. Yeah. Sorry.
Just because we're on the subject of rolling stock, before we going on to the 14XX, Craig Tum just asked for the rolling stock. Did you leave the wheels as is or change them out for wheels with larger flanges for 3-rail track?
So I left them as is. So if we just pick up, I've got like this brake van over here. It still has the 2-rail wheels. And so it depends on the brand of track you use in O gauge. Like I use Atlas O track. Ken Jr. and Train World coming in clutch once again, hooking, having a large supply of this in stock. So I was able to do my whole layout in this beautiful Atlas O track. And the rails are designed so it allows me to operate the 2-rail wheels on it just fine. It doesn't necessarily love switches, but I've never had a real issue with the switches. But I've left all my 2-rail wheels on. Now, if you were to use a different type of track, it may not work as good, but with my Atlas O track here, it works almost flawlessly.
Nice.
And I guess on the topic of rolling stock, we'll get to Oliver here in a minute, but here are just a couple of my other pieces of rolling stock. So just a regular van, and then here is one of the salt wagons. So this came in a different livery, blue and white one, but I've repainted it in this cream color to look more like the ones in season 2. For some reason, I always picture them cream color, and then I went to the Thomas Wiki, and most of them weren't in this cream color, but I painted it cream because that's what I remember. Maybe it's just the Mandela effect.
Yeah.
And then a couple of 7-plank wagons. My plan is to eventually repaint these into gray and green and give them loads, but that's just not one of those things that I've gotten around to yet. And before we talk about Oliver, we'll talk about his sidekick. So I've got a GWR towed brake van here. Unlettered because I want to give it the TV series appearance, and getting an unlettered one was the easiest way to do that. But once again, just with the fantastic detail, the roof comes off, so we've got the brake lever there for the brakeman, and then a painted interior, stovepipe there in the middle, and a couple other things, so I can decorate the interior and make it look real good.
Wow.
But yeah, so Toad definitely needs a face at some point. But yeah, this is a fantastically detailed model.
Beautiful.
I'm really surprised about the detail on these British O-scale trains.
I would say, yeah, they're extremely detailed. I think
And the
it's partly due
manufacturers
to,
on
like,
those freight cars, Dapple as well?
so
or-
all of these are made by Dapple as well.
Right.
All
Nice
these
stuff.
are as they came from the factory, except for this one. This one I repainted myself. But yeah, all these are made by a company called Dapple.
Cool.
God, so nice.
Yeah,
I think this is the first O-scale.
What did you say?
I think this is
I
the
said we'll have
first
to get you over here sometime, Christian, to see it. Sorry, Ken.
I'd love to.
That's fine. I think this is the first O-scale like British modeler that we've had on.
Yeah, absolutely. We were talking about that at the beginning of the stream.
Yeah, very cool.
So now we've got Oliver, which is a Dapple. I believe it's actually a 4800 XX model, but he's representing the 1400 class that Oliver is here on my layout. And it's just one of those things where I could have gotten a 1400 class, but they didn't make it with the GWR shirt button logo on it. And I cared more about that than the detailing on top of the boiler or whatever makes them different. So this one I bought and I renumbered it. So I've bought custom brass etched number plates from the UK for number 11 for Oliver. Just some more look at the detail up on top. And then I've also added a number 11 to both of his buffer beams, both in front as well as his rear buffer beam. You can see some of the piston detailing there. And then once again, I don't know how easy it will be to see, but we've got some more detailing. This one, they've actually picked out the piping in different colors. And once again, firebox detailing, the doors open and close on the cab. Another beautiful model. Another thing I need to do is get cab figures for all of my models. But, you know, we'll add that to the list of things that need to get done. Oh, broken handrail. Whoops. But yeah, beautiful model. All the detailing on the back here. Just a fantastic piece.
Absolutely.
So that's Oliver. If there are any questions about Oliver.
Let's check this chat. Everyone's just in awe, I think.
Well, go check out RJ's Trains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So next, okay, you got anything, Christian? Or you want me to move on?
Sorry, I know. It's like I try to not talk, and then the moment I talk is when you start talking. It just always
That's
is
right.
like that, right? But
yeah, no, we planned that beforehand.
yeah, it was all intentional, guys. Everything is deliberate here. But what I was going to say is, like Ken was saying, you know, I'm just so impressed, not just visually from a picture of all the detailing, but even how the cab doors you just showed, they actually move, and that they actually picked out different colors for the detailing as far as, you know, gold and red and whatever else is needed. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, man, maybe I need to transfer to O scale at some point too.
Yeah, I mean, everybody loves making fun of O scale because of 3 rails, but you can do some pretty cool things with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So on to our next locomotive here. We've got good old Devious Diesel. And so
Absolutely.
Diesel also has working lights. This is another one made by Dapple. Just, you know, things like the gauges on the side painted. I know he should have a silver side rod to match like its earlier appearance, but I really like that red side rod. I've been going back and forth about whether or not to keep the BR logo and its cab number. I like the way it looks right now with it. So for right now, I'm going to leave it on. Maybe one day I'll unnumber him to make it look more like the TV show. But similar, we've got a detailed cab in there. And I especially like the back where you have this gold wire up to the rear headlight, which also works.
Wow.
And just
Very
another
neat.
fantastic, tons of detail, a great runner. You know, it's tough just running I only have 2 loops of track, so it's tough picking out which one I'm going to run.
Very nice.
And on the topic of troublemakers, this is one of the custom ones that I've painted. Good old Scruffy.
Nice.
So this is another one of the Dapple 7 plank wagons that I showed earlier, that I've repainted, adding the Scruffy decals. So Scruffy, Ballast Contractors, Tidmouth, Sodor. Each one of these letters had to be applied individually.
Wow.
So I had to do it for this side as well as the other side. So that took a
Interesting.
bit of time.
That's impressive, yeah.
And then I picked out all the metal parts with the rust colored weathering powder. Gave it just an overall cover, of weathering powder. I know it's not perfect to how it looks in the TV show, but that's not what I'm going for. I'm just going for, what I think looks cool. But I think it's a pretty good representation of Scruffy, and he looks good sitting behind Oliver going around the layout.
Yeah. Definitely got to get a face for him.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. That was always one of my favorite episodes growing up. So that's why that was the first custom project. And then real quick, we've got another salt wagon that I've painted up in the cream color. And this is just a normal BR brake van, also made by Dapple, with some really cool detailing on it.
Beautiful. Wow.
And
Really
then moving
cool.
on to my, yep.
Do they sell them in the UK like as Thomas models, or they're more just like the actual models and people kind of
Yeah,
know which characters they are?
yeah, so they're the actual models of like real life trains, and I've just kind of Thomasified
Got it.
them.
Okay.
Or they're models that they used when making the TV show. Like they used the same basis when they
Yeah.
were making stuff for the TV show. So, you know,
Right,
I
but
just try to get it as close as possible.
but do the British companies sell them like as, oh, this is like the replica of Diesel or something like that, or they just
No.
say this? Okay, got it.
Yeah, so so all I did was I went and bought a black BR
Right,
Class 8,
right,
and
right,
that's
right.
my Diesel.
Got it. Okay. I guess it's similar to like the double O stuff. They
Absolutely. Yeah.
kind of does the same thing.
Yeah. Yep. And then last of the standard gauge engines, my favorite character besides Thomas growing up is Duck. Um, so this is another Dapple steam locomotive. This is a pannier tank. People love telling me how Duck is a 5700 class and this is a 78 because it has square windows, it doesn't have round windows, and it's got a pipe where the other one doesn't.
Damn.
Like Oliver, I just wanted the GWR on the side of his saddle tank, and
Yeah.
the only way to get it was with him with the rectangle windows. So, oh well,
Yeah.
I got it with rectangle windows. It doesn't bother me whatsoever.
Yeah.
But just like Oliver, this was an unpainted. It was an unlettered. Excuse me. So I've added a custom 8 number to his buffer beam. Great detailing. I mean, just tons of detailing here on the roof of the locomotive, as well as the custom brass number plates, number 8 for Duck. And once again, another super detailed interior there.
God, those cabs, man. I don't know how they do it.
That's
Well, it's
very
amazing you can
impressive.
do it twice the size.
Yeah.
And then just another look at all the vacuum pipes, the different lamp iron brackets, buffer beam,
kind,
just another.
kind, these models kind of seem like brass locomotives, like the quality as just like separately applied details and stuff like that.
Yeah, you would think, but they're die cast and plastic. I would
Wow.
actually say
Wow.
they're more like if you took an HO scale model and made it twice as big and then super detailed it. That's what
Cool.
I would say it's closer to.
Very neat.
Gosh. Yeah. So
And
like
that,
as far as weight, if you were to hold this Duck model, how many pounds is it?
It's all die cast except for the shell itself, so it actually has quite a bit of weight to it.
Yeah.
I would
Looks
say
like it.
about 1.5 to 2 pounds.
Gotcha.
and RJ, you talked about like
Yeah,
the
so it's
flanges, the
yep.
flanges on the Atlas track. Have you tried it with like Lionel or MTH track? Out of curiosity.
I've tried it. I've tried it on a friend's layout with Lionel Fast Track, and it works. Not great with switches, but if you run it, you can't run it at 100 miles an hour, but it works. Yeah, it's tricky with the 2 rail flanges.
Right.
So that's
Very
good
nice.
old Duck. He's the newest in the collection, and
Right.
just rounding off the scale rolling stock here. These are the only ones in my collection that aren't made by Dapple. They're made by a company called Helgen. Rest in peace, Helgen. Um, but these are Southern Railway CCT vans or PMV vans, and so these are my mail wagons. These are my mail train freight cars. So I picked up 2 of them to represent the mail train. Still don't know if I'm going to add Sodor mail to the side of the cars. Probably, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. But just beautifully detailed. They've got the wood molded into it, and it just looks fantastic.
Yeah.
The vacuum piping detail. So I can make a couple freight trains. I can make the mail train. I've got a passenger train, and be on the lookout for my channel here in the coming months. We've got more 2-rail British stuff coming. A couple of at least 2 more engines. So yeah, exciting stuff.
Fantastic. Any sneak peeks as to who the next engine is?
I would say one of them would fit my mail train very nicely. And I would say the other one is a rather large tank engine.
All
I
right.
think everybody in the chat can probably guess who those 2 characters are, but
Yes.
yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, and eventually the goal one day is I would like to have a Thomas. The Lionel Thomas is great, as a starter set, but to go along with these 2-rail British models, nobody makes an E2 in O gauge yet. So I'll hold out for that. Or there's some great guys out there in the Thomas community who do some fantastic 3D prints. So that's the eventual goal. One day, I need to get more confident in my, painting and detailing ability before I take that plunge. But I've got 4 scale ones here, as well as 2 narrow gauge locomotives, which we'll take a look at quickly. So they've been tying me over for now. But yeah, that's all my standard gauge Thomas and Friends 3-rail O scale collection.
Beautiful.
Great stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, RJ. Before we get into the narrow gauge, let's take a little intermission to the non-rail stuff for a second. 'Cause I think I see a particular double-decker bus in the background.
Oh, I can't believe I almost forgot about.
Yeah.
You would have never have let me live that one down. So before we dive into the other rail characters, we've got Bulgy here. And Christian, you were actually there with me at Amherst when I picked this up.
That's right. I was. I saw it in the flesh.
So this was just an antique double-decker British bus that was sitting in a box at a random table. That was O scale. So I picked it up, and so all I did was I made the custom name, the different advertisements and the different nameplates around it. So we've got Free the Roads. We've got Railway Bus, Bulgy on this side. Although in the episode they flip around which ad is on which side, which makes it very confusing when you're trying to figure out how to make your own model. So yeah. I did Railway Bus on this side, and then on this side we've got Join the Anti-Rail League. So,
that's great.
As much as it pained me to put that on my layout, he's even got his license plate there. So yeah, so we even have one. We even have one road character. We have Bulgy. I mean, how could I have Duck, Oliver, and no Bulgy? I'd really like to do a recreation of the episode Bulgy because I have all 3 characters that are in it. So that's something I'll do one day.
Awesome.
That's historical.
That'll definitely be a first on YouTube. O scale recreation of a Thomas and Friends episode. But yeah, good old Bulgy.
Beautiful.
All right, so just I guess wrapping up here, we've got 2 left to talk about. First up, we've got Rusty. So this is an O gauge narrow gauge locomotive. This was a 3D print made by a buddy of mine, fitted on just a Hornby chassis. It's a little bit bigger than it should be, but it suits my purposes for now. I've got
like ON30.
Yeah, so this is ON30. So this operates on HO scale track, but it's O scale proportion. So it's O gauge, narrow gauge, similar to what's it HON3 in HO scale.
Right.
HON30.
HON30. Excuse me.
Yeah, it's all
Um,
good.
so this is just the O scale equivalent to like the Bachmann Scarloey and the Bachmann
Right.
Rusty. Just an O scale form for the viewers out there. So I've weathered up Rusty. He also has a cab. I could detail the interior, but that was too much work. Yeah. So number 5, I was lucky enough to see Midlander, which is the real life basis for Rusty, at the Tally Clune Railway last summer, and this one definitely needs a face on the front of it. So it's on the list. It's on the list of things to do. But yeah, got him weathered up nice and dirty, just like he is in the real show. And yeah, runs great, running circles around the layout. So yeah, I
Beautiful.
definitely need to pick up some of the Pico ON30 track that Train World has in stock, because that would be perfect for this.
Yeah.
It's always on the list, and then I get a ding that I have another pre-order that arrived. And then just some of the rolling stock. I don't have as much ON30 rolling stock. So we've got one of the brake vans. And so this was a kit that I kind of kit bashed to add the ducats on either side, just like in the Thomas and Friends world. Like I said earlier, season 4 is my favorite, so I definitely wanted to make sure I had the narrow gauge brake vans. But yeah, just beautiful blue color. So this was all a 3D printed kit that I bought, and then we added. I was able to add 3. These ducats are made by Pico. So yeah. So I got one of them. I did them in blue, and a second one painted up in brown to match. To match the one in the show. Eventually, I'll get a third and paint it red. It just wasn't high on my priority list. And then we've got a couple of Pico NG7 ON30 open air coaches. These are kits that are mass produced and sold, in the UK on the UK market. I know they're not exact replicas because the green open carriages in the show, the walls on the side go all the way up, and then they're open air only on the side. But this is what is available on the open market, and it was the easiest thing to do. So that's why I did it, and it's my railroad. I can do what I want.
Yeah.
Eventually, I could get more of these kits and do Ada, Jane, and Mabel. Sorry, my dog's name's Maple. The coach's name is Mabel. And so I'd like to do that as well. And I'm just going to have to put you guys down here for a second because I want you guys to get a closer look at a Duke. Saving the best for last, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
I'm going to drop this. Oh, yeah.
Guys, we have to say, you can do it, RJ. You can do it, RJ. You can do it. Wow. Beautiful.
So here's Duke, another one of my favorite characters. Like Rusty, ON30. And like Rusty, this is just a 3D printed kit that sits on a Hornby chassis. I've even added custom brass etching for the handrails, as well as a brass whistle. And I've got it, it's not perfect. I never claim to be perfect when it comes to my models, but trying to get him as close as he looks to the season 4 appearance. Well, that was his only season that he was in. But yeah, so we've got it weathered up, as well as his tender, and a real coal load inside the tender.
Wow.
A lot of hours went into this one. One of my favorites.
Yeah. Looks absolutely stunning, man.
Yep. And then usually they sit up here, not connected on any track. Put a door right there, trying to get it up. But it kind of creates like the old mountain road. I think that's what it's called when the track goes around the mountain in season 4.
Yeah, yeah.
So like when it sits up there and I have the train, it looks like that scene. So I just leave it sitting up there. And every once in a while I pull out the full loop of Bachmann Easy Track to run them around in circles.
What's up with your dog food patch on the mountain?
So my layout is based off of Harper's Ferry, West Virginia. And somebody in Harper's Ferry had the bright idea in the middle of the night to paint an advertisement on the side of the mountain for their own toilet powder brand. So they ruined this beautiful mountain with this gigantic toilet powder ad on the side of it. And today you can just barely see it. But when I was recreating my version of Harper's Ferry, I changed toilet powder to dog food in
Very cool.
honor of my dog, just to make it a little bit more, a little more of a personal connection. And I wasn't looking at toilet every time I came down here to film a video.
That's good.
Yeah, very clever.
Yep. But yeah,
how big is your?
How big is my layout? No, you're right.
Yes, you know what I was gonna say.
Yeah, I figured it out. My layout is just smaller than 12 by 8. So I'm able to fit 2 loops of O-scale track. And I have a little yard here to the left. It's loosely based off of different locations from Virginia and West Virginia. I lived in Washington, D.C. for a period of about 6 years. So I spent a lot of time in Virginia and D.C., and I wanted to recreate that in O-scale. Of course, British 3-gauge, 3-rail O-scale trains don't necessarily look all the best when they're running through West Virginia and Virginia. But on a future layout, I have plans. I want to create Crovan's Gate in O-scale.
Wow.
Just a little scene. So like you have a tunnel at one end, the train comes through Crovan's Gate, and then it, leaves and it goes back to America. But I just think it would be hysterical if one day you have like a double stack intermodal train, coming through Crovan's Gate.
Yeah.
It'd be funny having the Acela or, a Long Island Railroad train come through, through a British O-gauge world. And this way I can, properly run and display my British O-gauge trains as well as the narrow gauge trains, because I hope to expand, especially in the narrow gauge fleet. And who knows, we were talking with Matt earlier, cross our fingers, maybe one day Bachmann would do something British ON30, which I think would be a huge hit amongst a lot of O-gauge guys.
Absolutely. And they definitely have the license for that. So that'll be good. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. This is my my little empire. And if there's anything that you're curious about how I built it or how I did it, I have a layout building series on my YouTube channel where I've covered how I did just about every single thing on this layout. From the mountain, from when it was just a piece of pink foam, to what it looks like today. And there's still a lot more trees that need to be added to it, but it's on the list of things to do.
Awesome. But guys, just like RJ just said, a lot of you do comment me about scenery, getting into model railroading, layout building. Anyone can do it. I mean, RJ has some wonderful tutorials where he goes step by step. You see the process. I also recently on my layout built a viaduct, and on one of my recent posts, I go through the stages from the bench work to the cardboard stripping, or some people use screening, the plaster cloth, to joint compound, or plaster to cover the seams, and et cetera. And I keep rambling on about that. But point being, do not be afraid of scenery. It looks realistic, it looks impressive, but honestly, once you know the steps like anything else, anyone can do it. Anyone. So.
And scenery is my favorite part of the layout. I love doing the scenery. I find it relaxing when it's going my way. But yeah, I can go down here for hours and just make trees, do scenery work. That's when I'm at my happiest with the railroad.
Yeah, honestly, I can say I'm the same way, because that's what brings it to life. When you just have the train, you just have piece of rolling. It's like, it's cool, but it's like it's only one element of the whole hobby. So.
Yeah, if
Great.
that's unfortunately that's all I have in terms of British O gauge. Actually, I've got one more Thomas item. Picked up from Train World. It's one of the Lionel 80th anniversary box cars. Which I know Bachmann made their own, but I got to give a plug for this because this is the Thomas I remember from when I was a kid. So I think it's really cool. You've got two different designs on both sides. So I don't know.
That was
I'm
pretty
sure
popular.
Train World still has some of these in stock.
Yeah.
So I for the Thomas fans, if you just want something to sit on your, bookshelf or on your desk at home, it's a really cool piece to have.
Yeah, we ended up buying the rest from Lionel because they were going so well and hot, and they're still limited. So it's a cool piece.
Yeah.
Cool piece.
It's okay, guys.
Beautiful.
O gauge isn't scary. You can just dip your toe in. It's not scary. It's not going to bite you.
Yeah.
It's cool stuff, and it's detailed. Very impressive. Yeah. And who is the O gauge manufacturer in the UK that does 3-rail?
It's a company called Ace Trains, ACE Trains.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, Ken's looking into it, RJ.
Yeah. Hopefully they have some characters.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Or replicas.
Yeah, this is huge. And thank you so much. Again, being the first O-scale modeler to express just the insights and showcase the layout. And I can't wait. Next time you come on, you're going to have another whole set of engines in both standard and narrow gauge to show. And there's going to be another new generation of people watching, and they're going to be starting to get into this as well. So it's going to be great.
Exciting. Yep. Next time I come on, we'll definitely have a couple of new characters to show off.
Awesome. And Ken, I'll do what I always do, and I'm going to share my screen just to showcase what we have. Really, really awesome event today.
And before you do that, just if you haven't heard of RJ, make sure you check out his YouTube channel, RJ Trains, because he really does a great job. And he really covers not only just Thomas, but all O-scale and product and just lots of great stuff. And he's a good guy. So make sure you check it out.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I know him better than Christian as well. Yeah. Just want to throw that out there.
We'll see. I got a lot more to do.
It's not a competition, Christian.
Yeah, well, I gotta.
Yeah, it is, Christian. It's a competition.
Everything in life really is a competition. That's the truth. Whether we want to admit it or not. But no, seriously, thank you so much for coming on and showcasing all of that. I mean, and it's true what Ken said. You go on RJ's YouTube channel, you go on his Instagram. He's got some of the most charismatic, detailed reviews. He always speaks with such professionalism and, again, charisma or magnetism that always draws you into the hobby. So if you are ever confused and need someone who's going to lift your spirits, he is one of the #1 people I would go to, without a doubt.
Thank you very much, Christian. That means a lot. Thank you. Thank you both for the kind words.
Absolutely.
And thank you very much for having me on tonight. It's not often I get to talk to Thomas, so it was nice chatting with you all and showing off the trains.
Yeah, well, you'll be talking to Thomas real soon again too when you're over at my place in a few weeks. So
yeah. Can't wait to see your layout, Christian.
Yeah.
Cool stuff.
But all right, I'm just gonna real quick share my screen again for those of you who may be new to Thomas Tuesday or Thomas Thursday. We have tons and tons of products at Train World. Again, currently as we all stated, in primarily H, O, and N, a little bit of G. If Lionel steps up their game, we'll get more in O, but fingers crossed. One of these days, Bachmann might have the rights, or at least to start an O and HON 30. But this is our current selection. To specify the scale, you go over to the side here. Again, we have HO narrow gauge, HO, N, G. So if I just go to G, for instance, then these products will come up. And you'll notice in every scale, there are new products on the way. All right. And if you missed the beginning of the stream, definitely check out the new reveals. And Matt did hint that we will be in for quite the treat as Thomas customers next month. So sounds like there's going to be multiple exciting reveals. No idea what that's about. I'm intrigued. I'm not going to sleep well probably for the next 4 weeks, but we'll see what happens from there.
I'm not even an HO scale guy, and I'm excited to see what Bachmann comes out with. I remember years ago sitting on the forum and refreshing until the catalog came out. So I'm excited to see.
I still remember 2015. They announced narrow gauge resin buildings, Oliver and Toad. It was a crazy announcement. God. So we'll see what's up their sleeve. I mean, it is what 2026, which is the anniversary for Thomas or anniversary for something. I remember regarding Thomas as well. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Great job, Christian, putting this together and getting RJ to come on. It was really great. And sorry I missed the intro, but it seems like Matt had great surprises in store for the show. So that was really nice to see.
Yes, and guys, we are raffling off the DCC Percy and HO. That is what it is. So you do all those elements that I mentioned in the first 15 minutes or so of the stream. Go on Twitter, do it. You will be qualified. I'm going to be checking tomorrow morning and then picking out a raffle winner. So stay tuned.
Great stuff.
All right. Once again, guys, thank you for tuning in. Have a wonderful evening, morning, I guess day, depending on where you are in the whole world. And happy Thomas Thursday.
Happy Thomas
Bye,
Thursday.
everyone.
Take care.